This so-called cult believes an illegal substance is one of the fastest ways to experience God. And outsiders say that message is putting lives at risk. But it wasn't always like this. It started as a self-improvement channel on YouTube, and the man behind it was Leo Gura. In 2012, Leo Gura started a YouTube channel called Actualize.org. He posted videos about confidence, positivity, and self-acceptance. He said the goal was to help people improve their lives.
I'm not telling you just to accept yourself and then do nothing. I'm telling you to accept yourself. First of all, the act of accepting yourself is a doing.
Many viewers said his videos helped them. The channel quickly hit 1 million subscribers. To connect with his audience, Leo made a website also called Actualize.org. The site had a chat room where Leo could share deeper ideas with his followers. Thousands joined and the chat room quickly became active. Followers interacted with Leo directly. At this point, Leo was no longer just a creator. He was influencing how people thought and acted. Then his message started to change. Leo slowly introduced more radical ideas about self-improvement. He told his followers that every person is God.
You're no longer in a state of consciousness per se. You are literally God. You're in full God mode.
However, most people were not awake, and that was a problem. In his chat room, he repeated this idea of awakening.
Your awakening is incomplete. Your awakening is incomplete.
He told his followers they needed something to fully awaken, and that something was an illegal substance. In September 2016, Leo released a video where he explained that a specific substance was a shortcut to experiencing God.
The magic pill to enlightenment and God.
He gave a brief warning about the risks, but most of the video explained why people should try it anyway.
It's just a technology. That's what it is. And the question is, does this technology work? And the only way you can know is by trying it yourself.
Leo explained how he found the substance. He said he once had health issues that doctors could not cure. He turned to alternative methods. That search led him to psychedelics, which are obviously substances that alter a person's perception of reality. Leo found what he called a magic pill. He claimed it improved his health, and more importantly, it helped him reach enlightenment.
It's higher and higher and higher and higher until finally something cracks in your brain, and then enlightenment is had.
But he didn't stop at sharing his story. He encouraged viewers to try it too. This is where people started to get concerned. The substance he was recommending was classified Schedule 1 in the US, meaning it's considered illegal and highly dangerous.
Well, you can't buy it, you can't sell it, you can't make it, you can't even have it in your possession.
Some viewers pushed back, but Leo told critics they needed to try it before judging. Remember, Leo had thousands of people in his chat room, and he believed his ideas, and some were willing to take the risk, no matter the consequences. Multiple people reportedly tried the magic pill. For some, it did not end well. Between 2018 and 2022, 3 members of Leo's community allegedly lost their lives. A relative of one victim blamed Leo's teachings. They wrote all the spiritual jargon and ideas only hurt him and his family in the end. He was better off without it. Another story about the magic pill involved Connor Murphy. Connor was a YouTuber with millions of followers. He was also close to Leo, and Connor began using the substance. Connor uploaded videos where he seemed disconnected from reality. Leo saw what was happening and warned Connor on a live stream.
You're losing touch with consensual reality, and you're behaving in erratic ways, and it's going to cause problems.
It's unclear if Connor stopped, but his case alarmed many fans. Meanwhile, Leo's influence continued to grow. His followers stayed active in the chat room. They discussed his teachings and reinforced each other's beliefs. Leo himself posted over 65,000 times on the chat room. He became the central authority. By this point, outsiders started using a new word for Leo and his followers, a cult. They pointed out several warning signs. Some followers treated Leo's ideas as the absolute truth, and they pushed back against anyone who criticized him, and some reportedly put themselves in seriously risky situations based on his advice. Several YouTubers made videos calling Leo a cult leader. Still, nothing has slowed him down. Today, Leo is still active on YouTube. His forum now has over 34,000 members, and it continues to grow to this day. The woman in her next chapter built a following by targeting people at their most vulnerable. The Teal Tribe. People went on YouTube searching for help with emotional issues. That's how many of them found Teal Swan's YouTube channel. From the start, she made it clear that she wasn't a regular content creator. She said she had special abilities that helped her understand people's pain.
How do I have all this information? It's because I'm extrasensory. I'm not limited to this dimension or time-space reality.
Her videos had titles like How to Heal the Emotional Body and How to Get Rid of Anxiety. These titles were not chosen by chance. Teal studied what desperate people were searching for online. Then she built her videos around those exact topics.
I specifically try to go for tags and things like that capture that audience. When you're in a desperate state, it's not sophisticated.
The strategy worked. Her channel grew to over 2 million subscribers, but the channel became more than just videos. Teal built a community beyond YouTube. She called it the Teal Tribe. But unlike on YouTube, advice inside the Teal Tribe was not free. She sold books, courses, and retreats. A single workshop could cost as much as $5,000. But the cost was not the biggest concern. The real issue was what people were being taught. At the center of the tribe's teachings was something called the completion process,
which is Teal's sort of claim to fame for being able to cure any and all childhood traumas, and especially to uncover any repressed childhood traumas that you have forgotten.
Followers were told to revisit their worst childhood memories, not just to remember them, but to relive them. They were told this would lead to healing. Some of her sessions were deeply unsettling.
You make up these fanciful, horrific tales of all sorts of disgusting, disturbing things, and you do it for hours and hours.
People started calling the Teal Tribe a cult, mainly because of their strange practices and devotion to their leader. There were also rumors that some members cut ties with their families. The group became harder to ignore. Then finally, a team of filmmakers stepped in to expose the truth. In 2022, The Deep End was released on Hulu. It was a documentary about what was happening inside the Teal Tribe. It showed that some followers lived with Teal on her compound. These dedicated members were called the Inner Circle. They reportedly worked for her full-time without pay. As the documentary continued, a pattern became clear. Teal demanded complete loyalty. Inner Circle members were expected to be available 24/7 and put Swan first above even their family. They also had to sign a contract called the non-negotiable list. This meant they agreed to follow all of her rules without question.
The priority of the entire community is whatever's in the best interests of Teal. Everything else is second to that. You can't have personal boundaries.
This control extended into their personal lives. According to the documentary, some followers were discouraged from having children. There's a clip where Teal addresses this directly.
I can't be kept awake at 3 o'clock in the morning before an interview by a screaming baby.
All the girls here are on board. We're not having kids.
The documentary sparked strong reactions. Viewers left comments like, Teal is a perfect example of someone who's been drinking too much of their own Kool-Aid for too long. And Teal is a damaged person trying to help other damaged people in disturbing and unethical ways. Despite the backlash, the Teal Tribe is still operating. Teal posts regularly on YouTube, and many people continue to appreciate her content and support her.
What's up, my beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode. So I'm flying solo today, as you guys seen those 2 clips from the channel Visual Venture about the cults on YouTube. So the reason why I selected this topic today, and the reason why I selected those 2 clips in particular, that's not the entirety of the video, so go make sure to check out the original video and to check out his channel, show him some love. But the reason why I chose those 2 it's because I was subscribed to both channels, Teal Swan and realize whatever the first one. Where in my early 20s, right after high school and somewhere around the time that I had begun college, as I've shared, in the past, I was struggling with my mental health. At the time I was a skeptic, so like I am right now with my faith, it wasn't present. But clearly I was looking for something, for some sort of healing, and these 2 channels were the 2 channels that I came across for the first time when I started watching motivational videos, self-help videos from all these so-called self-help gurus on YouTube. And I actually introduced my brother onto these 2 channels. I introduced my ex and a couple people to both these channels. And for years I watched both of them. Now I'm not going to say that I was a huge fan and I watched every content. a big reason, I've shared this in the past, my short span attention is really sometimes difficult for me. So when I'm listening to both people talk, both Teal Swan and Leo, they have a very their videos would be like half an hour long, and they would talk and talk and talk, but with a very monotone type of tone. Um, and that would make me lose interest right away. But I did use a lot of the stuff that they would say to help me heal a lot of the wounds and traumas from my past, especially traumas from my childhood. And I want to emphasize especially on Teal Swan, because that was actually the channel that me and uh partner and my brother really did get close to a point where my partner, at one point, she had reached out to her Teal Swan's team to schedule a counseling appointment, and we were scheduled in one-on-one with her. But something happened, I'm not too sure what happened, where we both ended up not going through with it. It wasn't until last year I came across a video from the Lights Out podcast about Teal Swan, and I came across Visual Ventures video, and I came across other videos of them talking about. I know there's I believe on Hulu or Netflix, there's like a documentary on Teal Swan's the cult behind her and everything. And when I started listening all the up things that both channels have said and done to some of their followers, and the stuff that they were pushing out there, that I was never exposed to that. Maybe because, again, I wasn't watching every one of their videos, but the videos that I did watch of theirs, it was never to that extreme, and I wasn't following them on all social media platforms and all that. So maybe that's why I didn't have that knowledge about some of the stuff that they were saying, especially about offing yourself, and just some up shit like that. And it pisses me off, because there's been many cases on with both content creators where individuals followed their teachings and no longer are here. And I pray for them, for their resting. But it really pisses me off. You have these people and other people like them that are on these platforms, and not just, like I said, not just them, who are spewing all this bullshit out here. Like I said, these self-help gurus, to individuals that they know are very vulnerable, very, they're not okay, like I was, like my partner was at the time, like my brother, and many people that I've introduced them to, where a lot of us, we've carried trauma, we've carried, those open wounds that we've been dealing with, and sometimes therapy or religion or family haven't been the best of sources of help. So we there's people that turn to these individuals that you don't know them. Someone who maybe sees past the bullshit might say, oh, well, why are these individuals worshiping these people online? And I don't get that, right? Even when I was watching some of their videos, I have never seen any of these people as these, like, I don't know, prophets or anything like that. So I don't get that, but I do understand why some people who might be vulnerable to some of in some place in their life, might be vulnerable to some of this, and they listen to these individuals who are saying the right things, right? And it's like a drug. It's that gay drug. The minute that they start with something small, they start feeding you and feeding you and feeding you, and you build that. It's just human nature. We built that connection with people that we might not even know, and little by little they transition into more extreme ideas, and you start not questioning. Some people don't question some of the stuff that these individuals are putting out there, and we should, as anyone, if you follow anyone, or if you admire anyone, or if you're learning from anyone, you should question. And if you don't, that's a red flag right there. So like I said, thank the Lord that I never went through with anything further. And I pray for all the individuals who still follow them. I pray for all the individuals who, walked away from these people or any other people, right? Whether it's a cult, however you want to see it. if you're going through something, I pray for you guys, whether, you know, you find faith or therapy, whatever, that you can find that healing that you guys are looking for. But be careful with these individuals who are profiting off the misery, off the pain, the trauma of individuals. And, you know, no therapist, no psychologist that's, you know, they're not going to tell you, yeah, this is okay. Like, this type of codependency and relationship with these individuals is okay. So, guys, let's as a society, let's start waking up. Let's start holding these people accountable. And for all the individuals out there who are still turning to these individuals, and not just them two, but everybody else that is that's doing these type of grifting and self-help guru bullshit, I pray for you guys. Please be careful. Life is beautiful. It's not easy. It's not perfect. You know, everybody has their own things that they're going through, and, you know, there is no excuse for this bullshit that they're, especially the, you know, offing yourself is a solution to what you're going through. That's never a solution, guys. So I pray for you guys, because I know I've been there, and I pray for you guys. Stay clear of these people. Let's hold them accountable. Let's call these people out, you know, and let's pray and try to be there for the individuals who do fall for these people. I pray for those individuals who are doing these things too. I hope one day they see the light and stop it, because you have people who are looking up to you and admiring you and following you, who are in very vulnerable places. Please do not abuse that. If you actually care about them, you're not a god, you're not a prophet, all right? You don't know this shit. You're not an expert. Even the experts don't know it all. So please, we got to be careful, guys. So it's something that pisses me off, and it breaks my heart to know that there's individuals who have gone through with some of this bullshit that these individuals has passed. And unfortunately, it's never going to end, because we see it now with the grifting, right? No matter where you look. But we as individuals, we have to be careful. We have to be aware, and we have to look out for other individuals who, you know, are more vulnerable to this, guys. So please take care of each other. And yeah, make sure to check out the original video from the channel Visual Ventures. Make sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe to these channels, where this video is going to be uploaded to. Make sure to like and comment. If you guys have, you know, were subscribed or seen these channels or any other channels, or if you would like me to react to any more videos like these, please make sure to add that in the comment section. Let's keep it respectful, guys. And all that being said, take care, stay blessed. I love you guys. See it through new eyes, see it through my eyes. See you guys next time.